So today we're going to be talking about brain-computer interfaces, and I'm going to begin by telling you a little bit about the science and technology of BCI, and then we'll move into the neuroethics, what I'm calling here the societal challenges. So what is a brain-computer interface? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It is a system for either reading out information from the brain to be translated by a computer into motor commands or other forms of communication interacting with the outside world. Or, rather than sending the information out from the brain, it's an interface that brings information in. So it's a system for bringing information into the brain in a way that enables the equivalent of sensation or perception. But what's key is, rather than the usual ways that we either reach out and act upon the world or receive information from the world, with BCI, you have a machine, a computer, interfacing directly with the brain. So you're not using your peripheral nervous system. You're not launching reactions with your own muscles or getting the information in through your own retina or cochlea or whatever. So the ways in which that interface is implemented can vary greatly. The kind of lowest tech, easiest way to rig up a brain-computer interface is using scalp-recorded EEG brainwaves. And here you can see a couple of systems that do that. One very simple system that actually can connect to your iPhone, and believe it or not, there are apps that will either record your EEG to help you to learn to meditate and relax, as sort of a biofeedback mechanism. There are also some electronic games that use EEG picked up from outside the head to, move players and so forth in a game. This is a headset created by a company called NeuroSky that is used for a kind of brain-machine interface that any of you could order online. I don't know how much it costs, but it's readily available. What you see below that is a system with many more electrodes that is able to direct a wheelchair based on brainwaves, based on EEG. And this is obviously, a less frivolous use of scalp-recorded EEG for brain-machine interface. And the idea is that someone who is paralyzed could direct a wheelchair like this experimental system demonstrates, using brain activity alone. Now the problem with these kinds of systems that severely limits their usefulness is, as we know from our neuroscience courses, EEG is a very sort of very limited and kind of coarse-grained measure of brain activity, and really only picks up a subset of brain activity. It has very poor localizing ability because of all the distance of the electrode from the generators of the activity and all the volume conduction that signal undergoes going from the neurons to the electrode. And also, EEG is only tapping into the activity of large numbers of synchronized neurons that also happen to be orientated in the right direction and so forth. So, so it's very limited. You can get a more localized, kind of better differentiated system from electrocorticography, abbreviated ECOG, where they place the electrodes right on the surface of the brain, which obviously requires opening up the head, so it's more invasive. But the closer location enables much more differentiated signals, so you can learn more about sort of localized patterns of brain activity, certainly more localized relative to what you get outside of the head like this. And this kind of process is already done routinely for some cases of surgery for epilepsy. Before they go in and do the surgery, they want to map very precisely the seizures and the brain activity associated with important cognitive functions that they don't want to disrupt. So this is something that is, while invasive, it is already done routinely for other reasons. Finally, if you want to really get in there and get the most fine-grained, local and well-differentiated signals from neurons in the cortex, you need to put the electrodes in the cortex, and that is what has been done in various kinds of preclinical research with BCI. So what you see up here is a monkey who has electrodes in his motor cortex, and a small number of humans